guys, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. I hope you guys have had a great start to the year. I have actually been sick all year long so far, which has not been fun. I've had this nasty little cold that's going around, and I know a lot of you guys have had some kind of version of it too. So I hope you guys are all feeling better that we're sick or are sick, because this little cold is not fun, to say the least. But I finally have my voice back, so I wanted to get this video up for you guys, and I'm going to be doing all my face product favorites from 2016. So my foundation, concealer, blush, and bronzer. And then I'll have one last video in this little series all about my eye product favorites. So that'll be coming up very shortly. I'm actually gonna try to film that after I'm done filming this video, as long as I still have a voice and everything is good in this area. So let's go ahead and get started with my foundation favorites, and I'll just kind of move through how I apply them. So we'll start with foundation, go to powder, you know, so on and so forth. So the first foundation that I loved early on throughout the year is this Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. You guys, this is probably my favorite foundation of all time, just because the coverage is so beautiful. It's super easy to apply because it's in a stick. You literally just swipe it on your face and then blend it out. The coverage is a full medium coverage to full coverage. It's very buildable. You could sheer it out if you want and make it like super lightweight coverage. It doesn't feel like you're wearing anything on your skin at all. Like I don't feel like I have any foundation on my face when I wear this. It's just very lightweight, and it's just a great foundation. The coverage is beautiful. It looks amazing on film and on camera. So it's definitely a favorite of mine from last year. I do have a video on this. I think I did a first impressions on it. I did do a first impressions because I remember now when I first applied it, it was like really weird. It does this really weird thing. So I'll link that video down below in case you guys want to check it out. But it ended up being like my favorite foundation ever, and I even said in that video like it's really amazing at the end. So anyways, I love this foundation. It's a great one. Next up is a drugstore foundation. This is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation Concealer. I am like obsessed with this foundation as well from the drugstore. It's full coverage. It doesn't have a matte finish. It's definitely more like satin, almost dewy finish without being like super luminous. It doesn't make you look like a grease ball or anything, so if you have like normal to oily skin, you may still like this if you're someone that likes full coverage and a little bit of something on the skin without it being too flat. This is just a beautiful foundation. It wears throughout the day. It has a nice thicker consistency, but blends out beautifully, doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I've just been so impressed with this for a drugstore foundation, and I'm so glad that I came across it because it's a really good one. And I'll link all my current shades and all the foundation and the products down below with the direct links. So if you guys are interested in any of the products that I mentioned today, they will be linked in the description box below. And then the last foundation that I want to talk about is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. I mentioned this in my full coverage sweat-proof foundation routine, I believe is what I called it. But this is an amazing full coverage foundation. Like I said, it is sweat-proof. It'll last through the heat. It like stays in place. It does not budge. For someone with oily skin, I think that you will absolutely 100% love this. But if you're someone that has dry skin like I do recommend mixing it with some kind of luminous product, whether it be a primer, an illuminator, something to kind of give a little bit of something to the skin, because it does have a matte finish. It's not like a flat matte finish. It's just, it is a matte finish. And if you have dry skin, any kind of matte finish on your skin, it's matte, you know what I mean, because you're dry. So I love mixing this with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer, which I actually wanted to mention in this video because it is definitely a favorite of mine. I love this stuff. This is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. So this is what it looks like. It is an amazing drugstore product. Honestly, this illuminating primer is better than any of the higher end ones that I've ever tried. It's so lightweight. It gives just the right amount of illumination to the skin without it looking greasy and oily. So I love this stuff. I wear it when I have makeup on and when I don't have any makeup on. So it's a good product, and I love these two together. It works really beautifully. This foundation also photographs beautifully. It is just so full coverage. It just makes your skin look airbrushed. So anytime that I know I'm gonna have my picture taken and I just want my skin to look really good, I'll always bust out this foundation because it just makes you look good, you know? So I love this stuff. Now for concealer, I have 3 concealers, basically 2 and 1 kind of like corrective product. So I'll mention that one first. This is by Becca. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I believe I mentioned this in a recent video. I think it was one of my Get Ready With Me videos, and I seriously love this stuff. I'm almost halfway through it. I'm almost at the bottom in the middle there. If you're someone that has dark circles, just sleep deprived, or just looking extra tired under the eye, I definitely recommend this product. It's the best under eye corrector that I found. The consistency of it is very creamy. It's salmon colored. It's not like super salmon. It's more like on the pinky salmon side. But what makes this one unique compared to other under eye correctors is the illumination property in it. It really illuminates under your eyes. It makes you look a lot more youthful and just wide awake. So that's why I love this. You would think that it would like crease under your eye, but it doesn't. It just really adds that youthful factor under your eyes. I can even apply concealer over the top of it just to give me extra coverage, and it still looks really, really good. So I think I'm gonna be doing an under eye like correction video. So when I do that, I will show you exactly how I use it. But I definitely 100% recommend it to anyone that has dark circles, or if you have more mature skin, or you just, you're looking tired under your eyes and you just want something to kind of help that. This is an amazing product. So now for my two most used concealers of 2016. The first one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser Treatment Concealer. I think that that's the full name. I was actually looking at the side that's not English. So it's actually the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle Treatment Concealer. This has definitely just been like a go-to concealer for me, especially the first half. I would say probably like 50% of the year, just because it's so convenient. It has this little sponge applicator, which is super easy to apply under the eye. When I actually first discovered this and brought it home, I was like, that's kind of gross and unsanitary, but honestly, it's just so quick and easy. Like, it's amazing. It's perfect. And I love the fact that it is a medium to medium full coverage concealer. It's very lightweight. It looks beautiful if you have aging skin or if you have more youthful skin. It's just a really lightweight, great, convenient concealer to have from the drugstore, and I love it. This one is in the shade Light, but my favorite one is actually Neutralizer. It's actually about a shade lighter than the shade Light, if that makes sense. So I love that one a lot. I feel like it has just like a hint more coverage, so that's the one I prefer, but I use the light one too. I like it, but just prefer that one if I had a choice. And then for my last favorite concealer of the year, this is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. I have fallen like completely in love with it because it does not crease under my eyes. The shade Light is just like the perfect lightness under my eyes without being too stark light, and just the undertone in it is so good. It's not too pink and it's not too yellow. It's just like a great neutral shade. I have probably gone through like 4 of these already. It's just a great concealer. I love it. If you guys haven't tried it, definitely go try it. The coverage is there, the longevity is there, the creaselessness is there, so go try it out. I think you guys will love it. If you're looking for a new concealer, this is definitely a good one from the drugstore. All right, so now let's talk about some blush favorites. The first one I have here is by the brand Sephora. This is in the shade Rose Glow, and I don't know if this is actually available online or not. I will check though, and I will link it down below if you can purchase it online, but if not, I do know that they do have it in store available for purchase. But this is the perfect combination of a pink peachy blush. It's not too peach, it's not too pink, and it's not too mauve. It's just like that perfect everyday blush. I think the formulation is really great on these. It lasts all day on me. It is what I'm wearing today on my cheeks. It's just a very light sweeping of it, but it's just a great everyday blush. If you guys haven't checked out these Sephora blushes, they're really good. So definitely recommend this. And then the other blush that I wanted to mention is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Rose d'Oro. And to me, this is basically a deeper version of the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. So if you're a fan of that one, but you want a little bit more color pigmentation like I did, this is the blush to get. Even though this one definitely looks a lot darker and a lot more like red going through it than Luminoso, it's honestly just like 2 shades darker than Luminoso. Once you apply it, it gives a beautiful glow to the skin. It's just a good everyday blush. The formulation of these Milani Baked blushes are really good. And I will give a quick honorable mention to another blush. This is the MAC blush in the shade Melba. You guys have seen me use this blush so many times on my channel. It's just kind of like a go-to staple blush every year for me because it honestly just goes with any makeup look that you're ever gonna do. And this is a matte formulation, which I think is really beautiful, especially if you're gonna use a lot of highlighter on the face or you have a more like shimmery eye. This is just a beautiful blush that's long wearing and it's just a staple every single year. So I thought I'd mention it to you guys because I have used it in tutorials this year or last year. I'm gonna have to edit this video down so much because I've stopped like every 3 seconds to cough, but we're gonna make it through. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do bronzers first and then save highlighters for last. So the first bronzer that I wanna talk about is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. I have used this all year long. I've hit pan on it already, if you guys can see there in the middle. This for me has been kind of just like the everyday go-to, don't have to think about it kind of bronzer. You can sweep it on with the littlest amount of foundation, no foundation, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. It looks very skin-like. It just meshes with the natural oils in your skin so beautifully and just creates this beautiful natural bronze. Definitely been a favorite of mine all year long, and I love the fact that it's kind of like marbleized with highlighter. So it just gives you a very natural kind of glowy bronze. If you're someone that has light to medium skin, I think you'll love it. If you are someone with more fair skin, it may be a little too warm on your skin. You'll just have to try it out, and if you do, be sure to let me know what you think. But if you do have light to medium skin like I do, this is a great bronzer. Next up is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula, and the shade that I have is Bronzer. I believe this is I think that this is the lighter of the two. It could be the darker of the two. But this is the shade that I have, and it works really great, again, with my light to medium skin tone. It definitely has a very vibrant smell when you first get it. It smells like coconuts and the beach, which smells really, really good. But as you get your brush in there and work that top layer off, it's not as like potent in your face. But the actual bronzer itself is a beautiful shade. Like, it is so perfect for just a beautiful, like, everyday bronze. And I say that because sometimes I do like more like of a heavy bronzer where it's, you know, definitely like a lot more pigment, a lot more like depth to it. This is just a very light bronzer, and I feel like this shade would even work really beautiful with someone with lighter skin. So I just think that this is just a great bronzer. The formulation is smooth and buttery, goes on like a dream, and the color is what is so good about this. And I also wanted to mention the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I have used this as kind of like a multi-purpose palette. I love this shade right here in the middle to add just a little bit of depth to my contour. And then I love the shade right above that here in the middle on the top. It's more like of a yellow powder, and I love it for under my eyes. It really brightens and awakens them. And then this first shade right here, which is a little bit more peach, I love to clean up under my contour. It's pigmented enough to give a little bit of coverage where it just covers any, like, you know, dusting of the bronzer that kind of got a little sloppy and you want to clean that up. But it's not too heavy where it looks cakey looking, just a really nice milled powder. So I love this entire palette. I would definitely say I use these four right here the most. I don't really dab into these too much just because they're not right for my skin. But these four right here are definitely like essentials in my makeup routine. And I love the fact that you can get pan refills now on just the shades that you want, which I think is awesome. So if you are interested in maybe just getting like these two, you can do that now, which is so cool. So this has definitely been a favorite though. I wanted to mention it because the undertones of the shades in this palette are so good. They're not too cool, they're not too warm, and the powders are so nicely milled. Like, the formulation is really good. So wanted to mention that because I've used it a ton in 2016. And last but not least is highlighters, and I just wanted to pick my two absolute favorites that I have used so much throughout the year that I wanted to share with you guys. So the first one is by Becca. Of course, I feel like everyone loves Becca highlighters for a good reason. They're super finely milled, they look beautiful on the skin, and they're just really good. The one that I've used the most is in the shade Opal. It's a beautiful combination of silver, gold, and champagne. I would say it's actually more like champagne silver mixture, but it's absolutely beautiful. Again, if you have my skin tone, I think you would really like this one. I don't find this one to be like bam in your face, but you could definitely build it up to where it's like boom, you know? The actual finish of the powder is what makes it just so beautiful on the skin. As you can tell, it's definitely been a favorite of mine. I have hit pan on it. I've only had it for 2016. I definitely got a lot of use out of it. Is it normal to hit pan on a highlighter in a year? I don't know. And then this next highlighter is actually what I'm wearing today, which does definitely pack a punch, if you guys can see that in the camera. This is the ColourPop highlighter in the shade Spoon. And now just looking at these side by side, they're actually almost like the same color in the pot, which is really weird. I never noticed that before. This one definitely has a lot more silver undertone to it, and this one has a little bit more champagne in it. But nevertheless, this one is still absolutely beautiful. I love the formulation of the ColourPop highlighters. They're so creamy, almost gel-like, just very easy to apply. You could even apply this with your finger and just kind of like dab it in. It blends out beautifully. I actually like to apply this before I apply my blush. I feel like it just kind of like meshes together a little bit better that way. But this definitely packs a punch. I mean, I feel like I'm like glowing today. So I love this one though. It's so beautiful. And I really like that this one has a little bit more of that silver in it because I'm feeling a little bit more pale in the last couple months because it's winter. So I feel like this one just goes with my skin tone a little bit better too. And believe it or not, I've actually hit pan on this one too, if you can see there in the middle. That's so weird. Like, is that really normal to hit pan on highlighters in a year? I obviously like to glow, apparently, like most people, I think, this year. So those were all of my favorite face products for 2016. I would love to know what you guys had loved all year long. So be sure to let me know in the comments, whether it be foundation, concealer, blush, bronzer. Let me know your favorites so that I can pick them up this year and test them out and give them a shot. And as always, thank you for hanging out, watching this video. I really appreciate you guys just, taking the time to hang out with me here on my channel. So again, thank you. I'm so excited for this year. I can't wait for the videos that I have planned. So be on the lookout for a lot more content this year. I'm just really excited for this year. So look out for some tutorials, just some different videos, some home stuff. I'm just really excited. So thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, be sure to subscribe down below. You can also follow me on Snapchat and Instagram as well. I will link my handles down below for you guys, and I will see you very shortly in my next video, which will be my best of beauty eye products. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.